Hello fishes and welcome back to Doki Literature Club. Rose, how are you feeling after what just transpired?
Not okay.
Yeah, that's valid. But hey, there's two other girls to pick from, or three I guess if you...
I don't know, I think they'll probably, my guess is they'll all turn into this the weird glitchy contraption that is where Savory was.
No, she doesn't have... Who's that?
You know who she was.
Well, here, let's, new game.
I don't think that's quite how that's pronounced.
You don't think so? Oh. There's a fourth in there, and a half, and trademark sign. Or copyright sign, sorry, not copyright.
Yes.
I see Jews. J-U-Z. And paragraph.
And you behave! See an annoying girl running towards me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is... Keyboard Smash. My neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. If she's gonna chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Keyboard Smash catch up to me.
Come on, make funny noises! Commit
to
this!
You cry!
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's an ordinary school day, just like any other.
Rewind that.
Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I always walk to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time to meet some girls or something like that. I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Oops. There really aren't any that. Besides, most of them would probably be too demanding for me to deal with. Guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club.
Rose?
Monica?
Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right?
Ah. Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for, anyways?
I've been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers?
Guess you could check the closet. In the debate club, right?
About that. I actually quit the debate club.
Really? You quit?
Yeah. And to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and the publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it.
In that case, what club did you decide to join?
I'm starting a new one. A literature club.
Literature? Sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far?
Well, it's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring.
Well, I can see that.
But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's funny, right? She's always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right?
Did Monica say she?
Girl being into manga? Preposterous. Hey, Rose. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join?
Ah. I guess so, but...
In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please.
Do we get cupcakes this time?
What do you mean, cupcakes? Who said anything about cupcakes? There are no cupcakes. Cupcakes were never mentioned.
This time? I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Or I guess I could check it out.
Awesome. You're really sweet, Rose. You know that?
It's nothing, really.
Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important.
Woo-woo. Thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Eerie silence.
I'm back! And I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Rose.
All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls!
What?
Woo-woo?
So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right?
What? No, I'm not.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably first year.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with something. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you.
So I ran into Rose in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica? Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know.
Bake cupcakes?
Sorry. I didn't forget that. It just kind of happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Rose?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica.
So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like litter. You have to work hard to convince people that you are both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, yes.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a teaspoon. She carefully places a teaspoon in front of each of us, before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Oh, don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess?
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know...
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself, relief.
So, Rose, what kind of thing do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few days, I don't really have a good way of answering that.
It says you, but
yeah.
Semantics.
Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something. Keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, I can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate for reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in. It's obvious the way her eyes light up, that she finds her comfort in the world of books.
But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Ah, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp at something I can relate to at a mental level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with the rock.
I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
That's foreshadowing, Antique.
I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, I just...
Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split.
Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the club last meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back! Fine, fine.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Eh, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Not a very confident writer yet?
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set the example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment.
Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Huh?
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we can all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Rose?
Hold on, there's still one problem.
Yeah? What's that?
Now that we've reached the most important topic, I've bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. We still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare at me with dejected eyes.
But... Oh, sorry, I thought...
The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me.
I guess I need to tell you the truth, Rose. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival...
I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
You made them so happy. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Rose?
Yeah? It could be fun, right?
Really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Rose, I'm so happy!
Cupcakes.
We have become an official club now.
Cupcakes that look like cats.
Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay?
Thanks, I guess?
Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share.
Monika looks over at me once more. Rose, I look forward...
Rose, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. You did it for once! I am vindicated!
Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. Guess I'll be on my way then.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait.
With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight.
Wow, without Sayori here, those days go by fast! You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it?
Okay.
I can't convince myself to go to therapy when happiest I've ever been. I'd rather keep this up until I blow my cover and someone takes me to the emergency room. That is all. A great poem, isn't it? Okay, writing poems.
They're not centered.
Oh, is that the biggest problem?
Yes, that's
Got
totally the biggest problem.
Determination.
Sure. We are determined and peaceful. And it's so much easier to tell which words go to who this way.
Without the one in the middle?
Yeah. Existence.
Going for Yuri?
If one of them has to go, it'll probably be the one who is closest to me.
So you're sacrificing Yuri to save Natsuki. Oh, I get it.
Right, that's how this works. Probably.
I mean,
despise. But you gotta do Doki Doki though.
I can't make it too obvious where you're going. You gotta kind of sprinkle in some other options.
Anxiety. Kitty. Horror.
Natsuki jumps. Horror. You'd be like, the
What
gas.
the heck?
Kawaii vivid. Mouse sugar.
I don't want mouse sugar.
These really don't work. I do want shame marshmallow though. I wonder what that's about.
Shameful marshmallow.
Shame marshmallow.
No, it's like the marshmallow test where like you.
Oh, right.
That's the shame marshmallow.
Of course.
We'll take the shame from the marshmallow.
No more shame.
Because it's quite a tragedy.
Tragedy.
But also an adventure. Sure, why not?
Tenacious comfort. Tenacious, sorry. Tenacious.
Contamination skipping.
Do you forgive Vanilla? Do you forgive Vanilla?
No, but I cry bliss.
Cry bliss?
Yeah. And I death sparkle.
You death sparkle?
This
is my edgy My Little Pony OC right there.
Dude,
I am Death Sparkle.
That's what my emo phase looked like.
Right? Really? Yeah?
Yeah. Let's go Death.
It says a lot.
Vivacious strawberry.
No, it's Strawberry Vivacious. Gotta read it in order. This isn't Japan. We don't read right to left.
We'll go with prayer insight. We'll say insight.
The lollipop defeat.
Entropy nature. Sure.
Entropy?
Yes. Uncanny. Depression. Childhood. Dark.
Pickle fun.
Melancholy.
That says melancholy.
Melancholy.
Melancholy. Hi again, Rose. Glad to see you didn't run away on us.
Don't worry. Might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Rose. I don't know if you saw yours face. It's glitching out.
I didn't notice it this time, no.
I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Do I get cupcakes?
Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. There's no cupcakes!
Cupcakes?
I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take this seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Monica, you're kind of blocking my words.
Something about
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps a manga collection in a club room. Goodbye, Monica.
Bye. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Is the class? Costume seems tilted.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm not crazy. I don't think I noticed that. It's only ever slightly tilted.
And Yuri is a bit taller than usual.
Yeah. Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
I'm sorry, Rose. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay?
Okay. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance.
Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read.
Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess.
No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to.
Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, I should help you get started on something you might like.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted.
How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'd like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely enthusiastically take the book.
Yeah. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Oh, the class is back to normal! Hooray! The earthquake is over! The room has settled.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her intense expression, waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages.
Oh.
I think she noticed me. Look.
Sorry.
Sneaks another glance at me. Our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book you gave me, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason.
Liar.
Just,
Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped by the bookstore yesterday... That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them.
Yeah, just happened to. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
That's so. What's the story about, anyway?
Well,
Read the book, gosh darn it! I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood.
Oh.
But the facility gets even worse and starts to selectively breed people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Harry made it sound like it was gonna be a nice story, so the dark turn came out of nowhere.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Rose?
No, it's not that. I can definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri is into those things. So shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just this kind of story. It's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway.
I have a feeling that that's not... Wait, you didn't read the second
Yeah, I
part.
didn't skip that. I didn't do that.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I think if I'd chosen her the first time, I don't think that's the response I would have gotten. That's just a hunch, though.
I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. Haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts... Oh, Bob! Oh, I didn't get to read that all the way. I kind of regret paying attention to other people. I forget. Right, forget. Those are very different words.
Yes, they are. That is a very different sentence.
That's a very different sentence. I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much.
That's... I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Least I can do is listen. The literature club, after all.
That's true. In fact, oh, those were a lot of your lines.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Is she reading Parfait Girls in the back, or is she reading something dark and horrible back there?
Don't worry about her. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but...
What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit right here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. Soon I understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. Not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting. The feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Something about bathing in the blood of my enemies?
Yes.
Yuri, really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I didn't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? Slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and then hold my book more between the two.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so I use my right hand. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Aww. Yuri takes her left arm to hold the side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. Okay, I turn a page. Yuri slides it under her thumb after it to her side. But holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. As if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Huh?
To turn the page.
Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a glance over Yuri's face again. Our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I could do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. Continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page, but I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn to my own volition. I continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost like an intimate exchange. I'm gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main chapter kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
Character.
Oh. The main character! Okay.
No, I don't relate to this character at all.
Liar.
Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking of the way she second guesses things she says and all that.
That's what you're talking about. Sorry.
No, I think you're a sociopathic murderer.
I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Breathing is a little...
My breathing?
Yuri puts her hands on her chest to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about?
Rose? Did something happen just now?
Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess.
So you don't know anything?
Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her.
No, nothing.
Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming.
Alright, if you say so.
Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other?
Didn't we wait for Yuri?
Well, she might be a while, so I figured we should just get started without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, and slip it back into my book bag.
Which poems are we reading first?
This feels very deja vu. I feel like something might happen to Yuri.
What? Why would you say that? This is just a normal literature club. 3 normal member. Nothing alarming here.
Let's talk to Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. Probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Huh?
Rose, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home.
What? Harsh.
What do you expect me to believe, that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid?
I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about?
Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again.
Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess.
Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it.
Deja vu.
Scroll. Hidden. No reason.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing is to be all sophisticated and stuff. But people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on it on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with... I can words.
Human her, yes, human Natsuki. I am human.
I wanted cupcakes. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her.
So many choices.
Yuri.
You want Yuri's?
Sayori!
Sayori, where's your poem? Hi, Rose. Having a good time so far?
Yeah?
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
I want Sayori back.
Who?
Sayori.
Who's that?
Bring her back.
Who? I don't know who that is.
Also, I want cupcakes.
Then talk to Natsuki.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, I want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Rose. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Great job, Rose. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Guess I underestimated you.
Easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low.
Real low.
That way it counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism.
I had no idea.
Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like a bad thing, though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time.
Suddenly, the door opens.
I am back. Yuri? Oh, well, I was a little early on that line. I'm back. Did I miss anything? No, not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad you took all the time you needed. Oh, alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then.
Hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. There are others in this room. Are they talking? Or are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling plays tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So what do you think?
It's very free form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That's it. A lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What?
I'm sorry.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I have some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on specific points. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
There's only one option.
Yeah, Sayori.
Yes.
I mean, who's that?
Yes, let's share with Sayori. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. Traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize is that in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changed. Her stammering is completely gone. She sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Oh, please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if this is a rare opportunity. Itself is kind of funny. After all, is this supposed to be a literature club?
Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue future. I battle, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
Not battle.
Dude, SDAI read what I wanted to read.
Can't you read cursive?
No, I established that last time I had to read Yuri's handwriting. I'm sorry, I have such a terrible handwriting. See? She admits it. It's just bad handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Huh? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Rose.
Really? I must have totally missed the point. Did it have something caught in your throat there?
It was like a half cough thing. I promise. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, able to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn than putting it that way. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive.
It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Rose.
Ah, me too. Guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing ability.
Music. Random notes will go on a pitch. Read, you'll hear it. It'll happen again.
Even if they're just being nice, no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature. I guess that's why I ended up getting myself. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, I was writing something in a notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What is this language? Did you say something? Oh, no, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to her desk.
I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? Oh, I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but I really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Rose did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spend a lot of time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Rose liked my poem, too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize he was so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what You're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Rose appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Rose started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act so young. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Man, the vision is really throwing me off. Me? Look who's talking! Edgy.
Oh, swearing now.
Edgy? Sorry, my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the frick is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Rose hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this.
Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me as if she just noticed I was standing there.
Rose, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Who are you siding with?
There were the haunting words that I couldn't quite read, and the increasingly fast music.
You have, this, or this. Which swear word? They each swore once. Which swear word did you like more?
I choose Monica.
Who are you more afraid? Who are you afraid is gonna hurt you if you don't side with them?
It's still Natsuki.
You're gonna pick Natsuki?
Yeah.
You wanna try again?
Yes, try Natsuki one more time.
You wanna try that again?
That's cute.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die. Well, it's been nice knowing you, Rose.
Okay, fine, Yuri. Natsuki!
It's too late now.
There is only one option now.
No, you can still pick Yuri.
Okay, we'll go Yuri then. Hi. Why, hello there.
Who are you picking? You still pick both of them.
What happens if we click on her eyeball?
Hey Rose, why don't we just step outside for a bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? Can't even comfort my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never had it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if it makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'll be happy to spend time with you instead.
Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. Oh, she cry! No, poor baby.
Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. Didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Didn't mean it.
She is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri?
Didn't mean it.
I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did.
Rose, please don't hate me. Please, I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home for now.
Wants to say something. But she keeps glancing at Monica.
You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something. It's not that. It's not that. I just didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Rose. It would be embarrassing, you listening. Guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understanding.
Okay.
I'm going to end this episode here.
That probably wasn't important.
Probably not. So we'll start the next episode off with creating this poem, since we did do 2 days.
Yeah.
And just the first day was only like 20 minutes, so. but now we're over an hour. So, you know, as one does. So yeah, we're gonna end this episode here. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.